you guys finished dental school, you went through all the hurdles, all the difficulties, the things people don't talk about, the things people talk about. So, knowing all of that, what would you say was probably the most challenging thing for you guys in dental school to kind of, you know, figure out?
Man. Um,
Too simple of a question for a complicated answer, I know.
you think that, man, and then you think about all the long nights and and the different competencies and stuff that you do. So, but no, I'd say one of the biggest things is and it's kind of like something you pick up very quickly or something you don't is hand skills, man. So picking up the hand skills initially, I think that was one of the harder things just because it's something that you've never really done before. On top of having to study a lot of a crazy course load, like you kind of are used to studying. But yeah, I think really getting into the hand skills and getting comfortable with having that hand piece, positioning different things around the patient or in the lab that you're doing. So I'd say that was one of the harder struggles on top of obviously having a whole bunch of classwork and tests to deal with and test blocks. So
I probably think that it was more so like the meticulousness of dental school, right? And it was kind of like we had so much going on we had so many different events going on. We had so many different updates. We were getting like 5 emails every single day. And, the fact that we always had to be on, we really had to build up endurance, just mental endurance, just to keep going and just to make sure that we stayed on top of everything and we got all the different forms filled out and that we were on top of all of our competencies and on top of all of that, of course, studying for classes and practicing our hand skills and so I think really just the juggling aspect of everything that comes with dental school. And then keep in mind you have a life outside of dental school before you come in, right? So you have people who are looking at you to kind of not necessarily like, build the relationship, but at least maintain it somewhat. You want to talk to your family, you want to talk to your friends. If you have a significant other, they want certain attention from you. And so really just balancing all of that was definitely the most difficult for me because, while you're trying to take care of everything with dental school, while you're trying to take care of all your friends and family, you also have to make sure that you're taking care of yourself. And I think that that's a huge lesson that everybody quickly learned going throughout that crazy 4 years. So yeah.
One thing about the emails, like, you constantly having to take care of things. And I just started clinic literally like 5 weeks ago. And whenever I got an email for something, I had to take care of something or whatever, like before clinic, I'd kind of be able to do right there and respond immediately. But I'm just getting a taste of it now. When I'm in clinic, I can't touch my emails until the day is over. So
yeah, it's a juggling
it's
act, man. It
it's
gets rough.
yeah, it's really challenging. I just found that out like now, and I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of other things that I have to figure out moving along. What would you tell your D1 self if you could go back and restart dental school all from the beginning?
I would tell myself not to procrastinate. And it sounds easier said than done, but there are a lot of times when I kind of would prioritize an extra 30 minutes of rest or an extra conversation or something like that when I could have kind of like did my work and then had that conversation or got that rest on the back end. And because I would wait and have this kind of looming presence of responsibility, even when I was having the conversations, even when I was resting, I wasn't being able to be fully within that situation because I knew I had work to do, if that makes any sense. So I would just kind of tell myself, whenever you get an assignment, whenever you get any type of requirements, anything like that, knock them out as soon as possible. Because even, for example, with the whole COVID situation, we got into clinic and, we definitely, of course, nobody knew COVID was going to happen, but, some of us kind of, we didn't ease our way into clinic, but we kind of, we might have taken 1 or 2 appointments a day when we could have done, 2 or 3. And so because we did it that way, we did the 1 or the 2, when COVID hit, when it came to the back end of everything, we were trying to we had to pack our schedule, 3 appointments every single day up until graduation just because we hadn't done, as much as we could have done in the beginning, if that makes sense. And so, yeah, just for peace of mind, just knock out the work as soon as possible, and it would be a lot smoother of a process.
Man, that's great advice. I definitely piggyback off that, but I would also say, like maximize each session. Like get the most out of every opportunity that you have at dental school. There will be study abroad opportunities where you might want to wait, or just kind of figure it out on the back end if you want to do more work. As a first year, second year, you might only be able to assist when you travel abroad to do a global service learning trip versus being able to actually do procedures as a third or fourth year in clinic. But like take advantage of that opportunity now, because obviously, like Tyler said, COVID could hit and you never know what happened. You might miss the opportunity. And also just like be in clinic, be in lab, like really practice your skills, take advantage of every opportunity, because dental school is expensive, and it's that's what you're there for. Honestly, it's like there's no other opportunity that you'll have to just sit down and go practice some class twos, or go practice some crown preps, or go just kind of read up a lot more, have designated time to read up a lot more about endo or cross or anything when you don't have patients that you're actively seeing, different things like that. So just kind of try to develop your skills as best as possible, and maximize all the opportunities you have while you have time, because time is definitely of the essence in dental school. So take advantage of it early.
So Tyler, like at your school, did you guys have like a standardized calendar for like everything, or did you guys have like separate calendars for different things? Like how did it work for you guys at Tufts for that?
So we did kind of have like a loose requirement schedule, and but even when I say loose, this is kind of like, hey, you should have 15 cleanings done by the end of your third year. And let's be, when you think about it, we never really even got to that point because COVID came in, what, at the end of our third year, or like, yeah, right at the end. So yeah. So like three-fourths, right? And so, it just kind of got jumbled up. So they did kind of have an outline for us. And of course, we would have hit those deadlines if we could have. But unfortunately, yeah, we just got into a situation where, we just weren't able to follow the traditional route of doing 15 exams this quarter, doing 3 canals the next quarter. That wasn't it just wasn't a thing for us. So, it kind of also plays into what Terrell was saying, whereas like grasp every opportunity, because, there were some times when we could have easily, in our third year before COVID, went downstairs and sat and assisted in endo procedure. But, we thought we had time. And I think that definitely was a negative in the whole situation. I wish I had just gone down there and sat. So even like going down to the endo bay and just being there and watching endo procedures and like getting out, we had to do a certain number of endo assists. Even just being in the clinic, like Terrell said, just doing those things earlier than later. I just wish I really had done that, so that I didn't have to have additional chaos on top of the COVID situation that was going on. So yeah, just telling people to get in there early.
And I think it was a tip that one of our good friends out of UOP, he was saying that his fourth year, whenever a patient would cancel, he would just stay in clinic and follow one of the docs around, and just kind of go through all the students that he's helping out and just see different patients, see how they managed it, ask the questions about the x-rays, do different things like that to kind of help with that process, and kind of just staying engaged even through that. But you'll get it, man. It happens to everybody, bro. It sucks. Obviously, in the time you're prepared, you got the operatory set up and everything, and the next thing the patient just doesn't show for you. But you'll definitely get to the finish line, and you'll get all the experience that you need for sure. Yeah, I mean, just treat the patients, and be very personable. With clinic, like you'll obviously continue to get better. So after you do it a couple of times, you start getting more comfortable. All the rest will kind of take care of itself through repetition. So just make sure you're paying attention to your patients, and being very, empathetic to like people who may not be as comfortable in the dental chair. So
Gotta feel for that. Like, I mean, I did like assist a lot like before dental school, but I don't think I really was able to learn what a patient really goes through until I was the one in stab lab getting injected
Yep.
on. So yeah, I was like, oh dang, this is different. This is definitely not the best. You know, that's why people aren't comfortable with it. So I totally understood that from that day.